The Whisper of the Lost Soul. It was the summer of 1996. As always, I had gone to my grandfather's village for the summer. The village, with its serene nature and silence, was peaceful yet eerie with remnants of its past. The old church ruins at the village entrance, alongside an adjoining graveyard, were places no one dared to disturb, as per the tales my grandfather used to tell. My grandmother would always say, "Don't go there, it's cursed." But childhood curiosity always suppressed fear. One afternoon, under the scorching sun, I secretly went to the graveyard to look at the tombstones. As I wandered through the tall grass, a cracked tombstone with strange symbols caught my attention. I noticed that the soil beneath the stone was loose, so I began digging with my hands. As I dug deeper, I unearthed a worn metal box. Its surface was adorned with inscriptions in ancient Latin letters. I couldn't understand what was written, but I was too excited to care. I brought the box home. That night, the village's silence felt heavier than ever. My family had gone to bed early, but I couldn't sit still, driven by my curiosity to open the box. Turning on a dim lamp, I pried open its lid. Inside were a talisman and a rolled parchment. When I unrolled the parchment, I realized the writing was in ancient Latin. I could make out only a few words. "Kishi me, Espiritan, let my soul rest." My heart started racing. Suddenly, the light in my room began to flicker. A faint buzz came from the lamp, and the air in the room turned cold. Outside the window, a shadow appeared, not the shadow of a person, but something shapeless, like smoke, yet exuding a sense of presence. The door creaked open slowly, but I saw nothing in the darkness beyond. I told no one about what had happened that night. But the next day, strange things began to circulate in the village. Animals in the barn became restless without reason, and dogs howled fearfully at night. Neighbors whispered, "Something has been disturbed again." My grandfather, with a stern expression, said, "The old spirits in this village do not rest easily. If you disturb them, you will pay the price." That evening, despite my fear, I returned to the graveyard. Something was pulling me back there. Near the spot where I had found the box, I noticed a buried stone inscription. It too bore ancient Latin words. "I am watching you." When I returned home that night, darkness had fully set in. My family was asleep, but I couldn't close my eyes. Just as I lay down, I heard the slow creak of the outer door opening. There was no wind, and I saw no one opening it. The door stayed ajar, revealing nothing but a silent darkness. For a while, nothing happened, but the door's eerie openness and the silence were enough to make my heart race. And then it came a pitch-black mass. It wasn't human or animal, but I could feel its presence. It seemed to absorb all the light and warmth in the room. It didn't move, but appeared to be watching me. Then, I heard a voice resonating inside me. "Are you the one who disturbed me?" It wasn't a human voice. It felt as though it had been etched directly into my mind. Summoning every ounce of courage, I stood up, raised the talisman in my hand, and tried to read the parchment aloud. At that moment, the mass disappeared, but it left behind a chill and a fear I would never forget. The next day, my grandfather performed a small ritual at the graveyard and reburied the box. "Every disturbed soul demands its peace," he said. After that day, the village's calm returned, but the marks it left on my soul never faded.